Hi, and welcome back to the Fruit for Thought Pantry. We apologize for last week not uploading, as we just managed to get our director back after he went a bit AWOL, after he got nominated for a new awards, but managed to get him back. Today, we'll be breaking bread and baking bread. The ingredients this week in the bag is quite simple. As usual, you've got your own recipe card and method. You've got flour, plain flour, and yeast. That's all you have. And then you need to measure them again when you get them, just to make sure you got 500 grams of flour and 7 grams of fresh yeast. Today's ingredients are 500 grams of plain flour, 7 grams of fresh yeast, 2 teaspoons of table salt, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, some extra flour for dusting, and 300 milliliters of warm water. All right, now we go through the kneading the dough process. So we have 500 grams of flour into the bowl. Get that out of the way. And then you make a hole, like a little pond. Now we go through the process of mixing the yeast with warm water and 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And you mix, and you can see the yeast dissolving. Now we mix the 2 teaspoons of salt. You mix, make that hole again, and we start adding the water. Don't add it all at once, you can always add bit by bit. Start mixing. This process will take about 10 to 12 minutes of kneading. If you're using a machine, about 8 to 10 minutes. Now, what we can do is take it out of the bowl, find a nice clean surface, put some flour on, and we take it out of the bowl, and it gives you more freedom to knead. And as I said, this process will take about 10 minutes. You get all them gluten strands. Make sure the yeast is all over the loaf. Now remember, you can add anything. I mean, my favorite bread is onion and olives, or a nice focaccia, where you just add all rosemary and sea salt. If you do add onions, I would recommend you cook the onions beforehand, because they will release a lot of water. Now, once the dough is done, you put it back in the bowl and let it rest for an hour. When it grows twice its size, you press it down again, put it back in the bowl, and let it stand for another hour. Only then, when it's gone back to double its size, you put it in an oven at 200 degrees, 220 degrees. If it's a fan oven, 200 degrees, gas mark 7. Here's the bread that's ready to go in the oven after it's rested. I've scored it a few times, helping it basically to expand. So here's today's result of the bread. I hope you enjoyed the experience of making some, and please would you be kind enough to upload them onto our website. Follow the link below. We look forward to seeing you next week, where we'll be making a pasta bake. So take care and goodbye. We also like to thank the National Lottery for their funding, Mr. Daniel Legg for coming back after his nominations, and I'll make sure I will kidnap him and keep him here until next week. So I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care now.